We know you're in there, gentlemen.
What do you want from us?
We're intending to have you for dinner!
Now what?
Weapons.
Weapons?
Have that.
I'm not working now, mate.
Use it to defend yourself.
Stay back.
Hello, it's Lisa from Lisa Loves Channel, here to do a review for you today for Geek Legion of Doom. And the movie we're covering today is the wonderfully titled Cannibals and Carpet Fitters. This is a 2017 movie. It actually had its debut screening in February 2018 at Nevermore Film Festival. So let me give you a few details before we get started on synopsis and what I thought. So this movie was written by Richard Lee O'Donnell, who actually has an acting role in this movie also. It was directed by James Bush, and this is a directorial debut for him for a full-length feature. He has worked on shorts up to this point. So there's quite a big cast in this, so just to give you sort of top-billed cast here. We've got Darren Sean Enright, Richard Lee O'Donnell, who obviously is responsible for writing also. Zara, I apologise if this is butchered, Pythian, and Christopher Whitlow. So, our synopsis for this movie is pretty summed up in the title, to be fair. We have a group of carpet fitters who work for a company that have fallen on a bit of hard times. They're not doing too well at the moment. And they get a request from a large country house, quite isolated house in the middle of nowhere, to come and fully fit the house. And they jump at the chance. It is very isolated, it is sort of out of their way, but they've fallen on hard times. It's a job, it's a big job. So off they go in two vanfuls of these carpet fitters, off they go. Unfortunately, they have been set up by a family of cannibals. We have 5 brothers, and their very frightening, scary mother is lying in wait for these carpet fitters. And there you have a synopsis. Any more would be giving away the plot. We follow these carpet fitters becoming very unreluctant heroes, people that you would not expect to have to be heroes. Now, this movie was actually originally Kickstarter funded. It is a small independent movie, but I will say that I do not feel that comes across whatsoever in the production, what the final product that we end up looking at. It does seem to have a very similar feel, or they seem to have taken influence from Shaun of the Dead, which is one of my favourite, probably my favourite horror comedy actually. Now, as someone that's a massive fan of the horror genre, I feel it is really difficult to get that comedy horror angle just right. It's been done before, but not very many times successfully. And I feel this one actually does the job pretty damn well, to be fair.
Little slice of this pie, it's chicken, I think.
Spit it out.
What?
There is a human nipple in the pie.
We had other sort of British movies like The Cottage that also had a very similar vein, a very similar feel to this one. It's got that very distinct, quirky British humour. It's very irreverent, it's very un-PC. It's funny. It is a funny movie. And for comedy, for me, I'm not saying I've got no sense of humour, but comedy for me is very hit and miss. And this is just irreverent, silly, slapstick. Just goes perfectly with horror as far as I'm concerned. Aside from the comedy, the horror side of things, the actual special effects used here for this one are excellent. How they've actually achieved what they have done with a small budget, I have no idea. I won't give any specifics, but there are a couple of scenes, one in particular that like just wow, and it just comes out of nowhere. You don't expect it, it's there, and it really took me by surprise and really made me sit up and pay attention. This movie, the acting performances are all very, very good. The mother, the cannibal's mother's performance is just fantastic. I can sort of liken her to like a Miss Trunchbull type person from Matilda, but much more sinister. She's obviously the controlling force in the family. Her sons, the cannibals, are all very daft, having a lot going on upstairs. They're just vicious cannibals, but the mother, she's the brains behind the project, and she is indeed a very sinister character, and I felt a fantastic character. I loved her. I love when we get a really evil, strong woman in a movie. It just loved it. It was just a fun, all-round, entertaining movie. The effects, as I say, it's not just fun. It wasn't just funny and humorous. I felt it nailed it all. I felt the effects were spot on. I felt the humour was really spot on. The acting was all really good. The cinematography was good. The score was good. We also, I mentioned, we have Zane at the start of this. Anyone from the UK will know he usually presents TV shows like RudeTube and that sort of thing. He actually has a role at the beginning of this movie. He's not in it for very long. I will leave that up to your own interpretation. But yeah, not entirely sure why. I don't feel they needed to have sort of like a name in this. To me personally, it just didn't need that. I think it stands strong and solid on its own. And it just shows you what sort of talent we have coming out. You know, this was a Kickstarter campaign, and to me they've done a stellar job. They've done an excellent job. So I would give this movie we'll give it a 7 out of 10, which for me is a good, high, solid score. I did really enjoy it. I thought it achieved everything it set out to do. It's obviously not going to stand up there beside Shaun of the Dead because that's just a masterpiece, but I felt it was very successful in the execution of what it set out to do and would recommend it to you. So have you seen this? Let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to speaking to you next time.